My child, I need you to stop right where you are. Do not scroll past this and do not turn away, because what is about to happen in the next few minutes is not a coincidence. It is an appointment. The universe does not make mistakes with timing, and the fact that this message has found you today at this exact hour means that your spirit has finally become quiet enough to hear what I have been trying to tell you for years. I need you to take a deep breath. Release the tension in your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Empty your mind of the noise, the lists, the worries of tomorrow, and the regrets of yesterday. We are going to walk backward in time, into a room you have locked away in your heart to speak about a truth that has been waiting for you. We need to talk about him. We need to talk about your father. I know that just hearing his name changes the rhythm of your heart. I know that even now, after all this time, there is a space in your life that feels shaped exactly like his absence. You have told yourself a story about how he left. You have repeated the official version, the medical explanation, the sequence of events that everyone else accepts. You believe you know why he died. You believe it was his body that failed him. You believe that his time simply ran out, that it was a tragedy written by biology and fate. But my child, that is only the surface. That is only the shell of the story. The truth is much heavier, much older, and much more important for you to understand right now. Your father did not just die of a physical illness. He did not just fade away because his heart stopped beating or his lungs stopped drawing air. He died because his soul had been carrying the weight of the world for so long that his body finally had no choice but to collapse under the pressure. He died of a silent, invisible suffocation. He died of words he swallowed. He died of tears he refused to shed. He died of a lifetime spent pretending he was made of stone when he was actually made of flesh, blood, and deep, trembling emotion. I want you to remember him now, not the version of him that smiled in photographs, but the version you saw in the in-between moments. Think back to the times you caught him staring out of a window, looking at nothing, his eyes filled with a fatigue that sleep could never cure. Think back to the heavy sighs that seemed to rattle his chest when he thought no one was listening. Think back to how he would walk into a room and instantly try to fix everything for everyone else, absorbing their stress, absorbing their anger, absorbing their chaotic energy, while never once asking anyone to hold his. He was the strong one. That was his role. That was the script society gave him, and that was the script his family handed down to him. He believed that to be a man, to be a father, to be a protector, meant that he had to be invincible. He believed that showing pain was a weakness. He believed that asking for help was a failure. So he became a container for everyone else's darkness. He carried the financial worries. He carried the emotional instability of the people around him. He carried the dreams that others gave up on. He took it all, day after day, year after year, packing it down into the deepest corners of his spirit, locking the door and swallowing the key. But my child, the human soul is not designed to be a graveyard for unspoken emotions. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transferred. And because he never released that pressure, because he never gave himself permission to be weak, that pressure turned inward. It began to eat at him. It became the high blood pressure. It became the heart disease. It became the sickness that eventually took him from you. The doctors treated the symptoms, but they could not treat the cause, because the cause was a broken heart that had been broken 1,000 times in silence. I am telling you this now because I see the same shadow standing over you. I see the way you move through the world. I see the way you say I'm fine when your soul is screaming. I see the way you overgive, overlove, and overextend yourself, terrified that if you stop for even a second, everything around you will crumble. You are walking in his footprints. You are wearing his emotional armor. You have inherited his habit of silent suffering. You think you are just being strong, but my child, you are slowly poisoning your own spirit just as he did. This message is your intervention. It is the conversation he wanted to have with you but never could. If he could stand before you right now, stripped of his pride and his fear, he would grab your shoulders and beg you to put the weight down. He would tell you that the cost of being everyone's hero is your own life. He would tell you that loyalty to a pattern of self-sacrifice is not love, it is suicide. He wants you to know the truth so that you do not become the next chapter in this tragic story. We are just beginning to peel back the layers. There is so much more I need to show you about the specific burdens he carried and how they have latched onto your life without you even noticing. But for now, I need to know that you are listening. I need to know that this message has landed in the soil of your heart. We need to create a chain of awareness right here, right now. If you feel this truth resonating in your bones, if you feel the presence of that fatigue I described, I need you to leave a mark below. Right, I am breaking the silence in the comments. Do it not for the algorithm, but as a signal to the universe that you are ready to hear the rest. Do it to let others know they are not the only ones carrying this invisible weight. By speaking up, even in a small way, you are doing something your father never felt he could do. You are acknowledging the pain. You are starting the shift. Rest your heart for a moment, my child. Drink some water. Breathe deeply. Because in the next part, I am going to reveal the specific lie your father believed, the lie that is currently controlling your decisions, and how we are going to extract it from your soul before it is too late. You are safe here, you are held, and we are only just beginning. My child, if you are still here, if you are still listening, it means your spirit is brave enough to face the shadows. It means you felt the truth of the first message vibrating in your chest, perhaps as a tightness in your throat or a sudden warmth behind your eyes. That reaction is your soul recognizing a frequency it has been missing for a very long time. We have established that your father was not taken by mere illness. He was taken by an accumulation of silent burdens. But now we must go deeper. We must uncover the specific lie that poisoned his life, because that same lie is currently whispering to you every single day. Your father walked through this world believing that his worth was tied to how much he could endure. He operated under a silent contract with the universe that said, if I carry everything without complaining, if I fix everyone's problems, if I never ask for anything, then I will be safe and I will be loved. He viewed himself not as a person with needs, but as a function. He was the provider, he was the stabilizer, he was the rock, but he forgot that rocks, under enough pressure and time, turned to dust. He believed that if he stopped moving, even for a moment, the entire world around him would collapse. This was the lie that stole his peace. I want you to visualize his life for a moment. Think of how many times he said yes when his eyes were screaming no. Think of the people who came to him only when they needed something. Money, advice, time, energy, and think of how he gave it to them every single time. He gave from a cup that was already empty. He scraped the bottom of his soul to feed the emotional hunger of others, believing that this was his duty. He thought he was being noble. He thought he was being a good man. But my child, there is a difference between generosity and self-destruction. He crossed that line years before he died. And he did it so quietly that no one noticed until he was gone. Now, I need you to look in the mirror. I need you to be brutally honest with yourself, because the shadow that took him has now found a home in your habits. Do you feel guilty when you sit down to rest? When you have a free moment, does a sudden wave of anxiety wash over you, telling you that you should be doing something, fixing something, or helping someone? That is not your voice. That is the echo of his trauma living in your nervous system. That is the lie of the silent atlas telling you that you must hold up the sky or else you are worthless. You have inherited his dangerous empathy. You have a radar for other people's pain. You walk into a room and you instantly know who is sad, who is angry, who needs soothing. And before you even decide to do it, your body moves to help them. You absorb their emotions. You take on their problems as if they are your own. You lose sleep worrying about situations that you cannot control. You attract broken people, not because you are unlucky, but because your spirit shines a light that says, "I will carry you," and just like your father, you are starting to buckle under the weight. Listen to me, my beloved. This is not a personality trait. This is a survival mechanism that has outlived its usefulness. Your father lived in survival mode his entire life. He was constantly scanning for threats, constantly trying to keep the peace, constantly trying to make sure everyone else was okay so that he could finally feel safe. But he never got to feel safe. He died waiting for a turn that never came. He died waiting for someone to look at him and say, "Rest now, I've got this." But no one said it, because he taught them that he didn't need it. And now, you are teaching the world the same thing about you. You are training the people around you to believe that you don't have needs. You are training them to believe that you are inexhaustible. You say, "I'm fine," just like he did. You swallow your disappointment just like he did. You hide your tears in the shower or in the car just like he did. You are reenacting his tragedy, scene by scene, line by line. You are walking toward the same cliff that he fell from, and you are calling it duty. The force that took him is not an external demon. It is this internal pattern of self-betrayal. It is the belief that you must set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Your father's heart didn't just stop. It gave up. It was exhausted from years of one-way transactions. It was tired of loving people who only loved him for what he could do for them. And I see that same exhaustion creeping into your eyes. I see the resentment building up in your heart, a resentment you are too ashamed to speak aloud. You wonder why no one asks you how you are. You wonder why you are always the listener and never the one being heard. My child, hear this warning with love, but hear it with urgency. If you do not break this agreement with the shadow, it will consume you. It will manifest in your body just as it did in his. The back pain you ignore, the headaches, the stomach issues, the chronic fatigue, these are not random. These are your body screaming the words your mouth refuses to speak. Your body is trying to tell you that you are carrying a load that does not belong to you. Your father ignored these signs until it was too late. He thought he could outrun his biology. He thought he could willpower his way through the collapse. He was wrong. But you, my child, you have a chance that he did not have. You have the awareness. You are hearing this message because the cycle is ready to be broken. The universe is handing you the scissors to cut the cord. But to do that, you must first admit that you are tired. You must admit that you have been trying to save everyone except yourself. You must admit that you have been waiting for permission to put the weight down. We are approaching the turning point. In the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how to begin this separation. I am going to teach you the spiritual boundary that your father never learned, the one tool that could have saved his life. But before we go there, I need you to declare your readiness. I need you to acknowledge the pattern so we can dismantle it. If you recognize yourself in these words, if you are tired of being the strong one, if you are tired of the guilt that eats at you when you choose yourself, I need you to type this into the comments. I release the guilt. Let those words be your first act of rebellion against the shadow. Let the algorithm carry your declaration to others who are drowning in the same silence. Let us create a wave of people who are finally choosing to live, not just endure. Do not skip this. Your spirit needs to see you take action. Type the words, breathe them out, and prepare your heart. The healing is about to begin. My child, take a moment to center yourself again. If you have made it this far, if you have walked through the memories of your father and faced the uncomfortable reflection in the mirror, then something profound is already shifting within you. The atmosphere around you is changing. You are no longer just a passive observer of your life. You are becoming the architect of your own freedom. In the previous messages, we identified the silent killer, the pressure, the expectations, the inability to say no that took your father from this world too soon. But now, we arrive at the most critical moment. We arrive at the solution. We arrive at the weapon he never had the chance to pick up. The very weapon that has been waiting for you to wield. Your father is watching this moment with an intensity you cannot imagine. From the place of peace where he now resides, he has been whispering to your spirit, trying to reach you through the noise of your daily life. Have you ever felt a sudden urge to stop? Have you ever felt a strange protective anger rise up when someone asks too much of you? That is him. That is his spirit standing guard over yours, trying to enforce the boundary he was too afraid to set for himself. He does not want your pity, my child. He wants your survival. He wants you to learn the lesson that cost him his life, that you cannot save the world if you destroy yourself in the process. The spiritual tool your father lacked, the one that would have saved him, is the holy power of the boundary. He believed that love meant availability. He believed that being a good person meant never denying a request. He thought that if he drew a line in the sand, people would leave him, or worse, that he would be failing them. But listen to me closely. A boundary is not a wall to keep love out. It is a gate to keep your soul safe. Your father lived without a gate. He let every demand, every worry, and every emotional vampire walk right into the sanctuary of his heart and take whatever they wanted. And they took everything until there was nothing left. You have been doing the same. You have been leaving your gate open because you are afraid of being called selfish. You have been afraid that if you say no, you will no longer be valuable. But I am here to tell you that this fear is a lie sent to drain you. The shadow that took your father feeds on your lack of boundaries. It convinces you that you are responsible for fixing what you did not break. It convinces you that you must carry burdens that do not belong to your back. But hear this divine truth. You are not the savior. You are a human being with a limited supply of energy, and every time you give it to something that does not feed you back, you are stealing life from your own future. This is the test you are currently facing. The heaviness you have been feeling in your chest recently, that unexplained exhaustion even after a full night's sleep, is not a medical mystery. It is the spiritual weight of carrying other people's karma. You are trying to live their lessons for them. You are trying to cushion their falls. But my child, you cannot learn someone else's lesson for them. Your father tried to shield everyone from pain, and in doing so, he absorbed it all himself. He became the sponge for the family's dysfunction, and it poisoned him. You must stop being the sponge. You must let people carry their own backpacks. You must let people face their own consequences. This is not cruelty. This is love in its highest form. It is trusting them to walk their own path while you walk yours. I know this is terrifying for you. I know your heart is soft, and the idea of disappointing someone makes you physically ill. That is the silent Atlas pattern screaming as it dies. It is fighting to stay alive in you. But you must be stronger than the guilt. When you feel that guilt rising because you chose to rest instead of work, or because you turned off your phone, or because you said, "I can't help you today," I want you to visualize your father. See him smiling at you. See him nodding in approval. He is not disappointed that you are saying no. He is cheering for you. He is saying, "Finally, finally, my child is doing what I could not." You are breaking a chain that has bound your bloodline for generations. This is not just about you and your father. This goes back to his father, and the father before him. Men and women who were taught to suffer in silence, who were taught that their value lay only in their utility. You are the cycle breaker. You are the interruption in the pattern. The shadow stops here. It stops with your voice. It stops with your refusal to be drained. It stops with your realization that you are worthy of existence simply because you breathe, not because of what you do for others. The enemy knows you are waking up. That is why the pressure has been so high lately. That is why people have been testing your patience more than usual. The old pattern is trying to hook you back in. It is trying to make you react in the old way, by apologizing, by overcompensating, by fixing. Do not take the bait. Stand firm in your new truth. When the demand comes, take a pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, does this belong to me? If the answer is no, hand it back. Visualize yourself physically handing the weight back to the person it belongs to. You are not holding everyone together anymore. You are holding yourself together. And that is enough. We are almost at the end. The final part of this message will seal this new reality into your spirit and give you the final blessing your Father wants to bestow upon you. But before we cross that final threshold, you must claim your sovereignty. You must announce to the universe that you are no longer available for silent suffering. I need you to cement this boundary right now. Go to the comments and write these 4 powerful words: I choose my peace. Write it as a decree. Write it as a promise to yourself and a tribute to your Father. Let every letter be a brick in the new wall of protection you are building around your soul. Do not let this moment pass without making your mark. I choose my peace. Say it, write it, believe it. Your Father is proud of you, my child. You are doing the work. You are healing the timeline. Rest now, for the final revelation is coming, and it will be the wind beneath your wings. My child, we have reached the summit. Take a slow, deep breath and look back at how far we have traveled in this short time. You began this journey feeling the heavy, familiar weight of a shadow that has followed you for years. A shadow that once swallowed your father. You have faced the uncomfortable truth that his silence was not strength, but a slow suffocation. You have looked in the mirror and admitted that you too have been carrying the world on your shoulders, waiting for a permission to rest that never came. But now the air around you is different. Can you feel it? It is lighter, it is crisper. That is the feeling of a generational chain snapping. That is the sound of the burden falling from your back and hitting the ground, never to be picked up again. Your Father is standing at the very edge of this message, and for the first time in a long time, He is not looking at you with worry. He is looking at you with a radiant, overwhelming pride. He sees what you have done. He sees that you have accepted the truth He could never speak. He sees that you have drawn the line He could never draw. And most importantly, He sees that you are going to live. You are not going to fade the way He did. You are not going to collapse under the unspoken pressure. You have rewritten the ending of the story. There is one final truth He needs you to understand before you walk forward into your new life. He wants you to know that He does not regret the love He gave. He does not regret the care He offered to others. His heart was pure, and so is yours. The mistake was never in the loving, the mistake was in the losing of Himself. He forgot that He was a person worthy of the same care He poured out to everyone else. But you have corrected that mistake. You have taken His gentle heart and added the armor of boundaries. You have taken His spirit of service and added the wisdom of self-preservation. You have become the evolved version of Him. You are not your Father's pain, my beloved. You are His redemption. You are not the echo of His weakness. You are His victory. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you are healing a wound he carried for decades. Every time you choose your peace over someone else's chaos, you are speaking for him. He fell so that you could learn how to stand. He broke so that you could understand what it takes to be whole. His life was the lesson, and your life is the graduation. You are the answer to the prayers he whispered in the dark when he felt he couldn't go on. The shadow that haunted your bloodline, the shadow of the silent Atlas, the martyr, the one who suffers in quiet dignity. It sees you now, and it is retreating. It knows it has no place in your spirit anymore. You have exposed it to the light, and shadows cannot survive the light. You are free. You are released from the contract of suffering. You are released from the obligation to fix what you did not break. As you move forward from this moment, you will notice changes. You will feel a strange sense of calm when people try to rush you. You will feel a new authority in your voice when you speak your truth. You will find that the people who only wanted to use you will fall away, and you will let them go without guilt, because you will know that you are making space for those who truly see you. This is not loss. This is alignment. This is your soul finally taking its rightful shape, unburdened by the expectations of the past. Your Father's spirit is peaceful now. He knows you are safe. He knows you have the tools he lacked. He is stepping back, not leaving you, but watching you fly with a smile on his face. He wants you to live fully, loudly, and without apology. He wants you to laugh without worry. He wants you to take up space. He wants you to be the main character of your own life, not just the supporting actor in everyone else's. My child, this message was your initiation. It was the severing of the cord of trauma. But the journey of staying free requires daily reminders. The world will try to pull you back into the old patterns, and you must remain vigilant. You must keep your spirit fed with truth. If this message has touched your soul, if it has spoken to the hidden parts of your heart that were grieving, do not let this connection fade. I invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. By subscribing, you are planting yourself by the river of wisdom. You are ensuring that when the world tries to make you heavy again, you have a place to return to for strength. Join this community of cycle breakers. Join us, and let us walk this path of healing together. Click that button not just for yourself, but as a promise to your future that you will never go back to the silence. You are loved, you are protected, and you are free.